Sixth-ranked Fighting Irish 27-24 in the season opener for both teams. Carson Beck looked like his old self, throwing for 205 yards, 2 TDs in his Miami debut, led his team to a late go-ahead field goal to seal the win. It was the Hurricanes' first victory over a top 10 team in nearly 8 years. Starting with our quarterback. Cam, what was the bigger deal, Miami winning or Notre Dame losing?
Man, I don't know if everybody was looking at the same game that I was looking at, but I was looking at this game, it was the swagger, Paul. It was the energy, Paul. It was just everything from the defense flying around to the offensive guys making plays from one-handed catches to, you got true freshman and Malachi Tony stepping up to the occasion, and Carson Beck, just really looked like he had that umph to him, right? So when we're used to seeing, when we're used to seeing guys in South Florida really having that swagger, it reminded us of what the old times used to look like. Not to take anything away from Notre Dame because they played extremely well, fighting back nearly at the end. But at the same time, when you see guys in Miami flying around, making plays, having the aggressive, playing very opportunistic defense, that's what we're used to the U being, and we saw a glimpse of that last night.
S.A.?
To me, it was more about Notre Dame. I mean, listen, I like what I'm seeing from Miami. It was good being, I was at the game last night, fellas. I enjoyed myself hanging with Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin and their crazy selves. It was, with Andre Johnson, everybody else in the house. The U is feeling themselves right now, and I get it. I'm just hanging with the boys and stuff. It was a lot of fun, but just being there and having a good time, it was cool. But then those are my boys now. But I was looking at it, and C.J. Carr. I just saw Marcus Freeman coming out, and they seemed, they didn't seem aggressive enough, throwing a bunch of screens all over the place. I wasn't feeling it. And I just looked at them. They were in the national title game last year, and I expected a little more from them. It's not the end of the world. It was 27-24. They did come back from a 21-7 deficit. They did tie the score at 24 before, Miami's late field goal, and then, you give up 2 sacks. Basically to end the game. I just expected a little bit more from Notre Dame, and it's hard for me. I can't decipher whether it was Notre Dame lacking or what was it just that, Miami is just that good. I didn't get that feel. I got no definitive answer for watching both of them. I just found myself looking at Carson Beck. He was all right. It wasn't nothing earth-shattering, 20 or 31, 205 yards. It wasn't nothing earth-shattering that I saw coming from him. And I didn't see much coming from C.J. Carr either. So I got to watch them as the season progresses. But being there last night watching the game, I just found myself thinking I expected to see better from Notre Dame.
Paul, were you convicted one way or another?
I believe it's Miami, Cam, and Stephen A. And I like what Stephen A. said there. But Miami, other than Texas, no program has had more false alarms coming back. We're back. Miami's back, turnover chain, all the things that we have watched. And they look like they may be back. I mean, they were back last year until they went up to Syracuse and choked a 3-touchdown lead and cost themselves a spot in the CFP. Yeah. But to me, Mario Cristobal has been building toward this for a long time. I think he's got it. I mean, he's had so many miscues. Remember that game they blew on the final play against Georgia Tech a couple of years ago? That was inexcusable. But to me, that team looked together. They beat a very good Notre Dame team against one of the 3 or 4 best coaches in the country in Marcus Freeman. And Stephen A., I'm glad you had a good time. It looked like you're having fun. But to me, this was a breakthrough win for that man right there, Mario Cristobal.
Yep.
My only takeaway is this. Next time you go to a game, Stephen A., could you please invite me and Mr. Pauly, please? We want to go to games, too. We want to hang out and have, sideline passes where you dapping everybody up, you know what I'm saying? Are we cool? Are we not cool enough?
We do that. Yeah. You cool enough. We can do that. We can make arrangements for that. I can pull that off. No problem.
Thank you. If you don't mind. But what I would say to this game, too, and you don't want to hear it, but you have to hear it. In the locker room, let's not overreact. It's week 1, right? Notre Dame played an exceptional game for the most part. it comes down to a field goal. Do you want to accept that? Can you lose like that? Absolutely. But when you see the film, when you cut on the film, when you see guys competing on both sides of the ball, right? When the ball's tipped up in the air, when you see guys going after it, when you see guys showing unbelievable effort, when you see defensive linemen running downfield to make tackles and offensive linemen making blocks down the field, and you see guys just making plays, that's the only thing that you can ask for in week 1. Now, you look at week 2, week 3, probably week 3 to week 4 is going to be the true determination of what your team is, or do you have a team that can compete? And that's what I'm going off of.
Well, listen, what I would say to you, Cam, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you being the Goliath that you are in tip-top shape and stuff like that, you know what? Chances are you're going to be around in the weeks to come. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed to none of us, though, my brother. We can't take it for granted. We got to live in the moment. And damn it, living in the moment, I saw what I saw last night. Now, I would tell you that cat C.J. Daniels, that was a spectacular catch on his part.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
Right now.
I'm looking at this cat, Malachi Tony, the combination of those two, that's a nice combination. Now let's juxtapose that to Notre Dame when I see C.J. Carr. Even though I know he's got some weapons, my reluctance when I think about him is that I don't know if he's the kind of cat that can get those cats the ball for Notre Dame. I'm watching him pocket on that strong. I just have some trepidation when it comes. Again, it's only week 1. I get that part. I understand it. But I just don't see a stud at the quarterback position for either squad right now. That's where I'm at.
We just showed that one-handed catch by C.J. Daniels. What did you think of that play? Paul?
I mean,
I thought
you got guys that's making oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Cam.
But what I'll say, the best thing that you can have as a quarterback is guys around you that's selling out, making plays, right? Now, it was a for sure interception as you're playing it in slow motion. And as the play is happening, you're saying to yourself, okay, now that's not, or that wasn't supposed to happen. He's throwing an obvious, double coverage right there, and that guy's just making a play right there. But to your point, Stephen A., Carson Beck didn't look wowing, but over the next 5 weeks, well, really next week versus Bethune-Cookman in South Florida, he better get his act right, because when he has to see Florida, and Florida State didn't look too shabby, this weekend, he's going to definitely need to be battle tested, and he has been battle tested with his lineage during a college career, and that's what it's really going to come down to, him being able to be ready to make plays for this team.
The only thing I'll say about Carson Beck is he looks so much better than he did last year at Georgia, and that makes me feel good about Miami's chances. I mean, he had a terrible year there, primarily because he didn't have receivers, and he got very frustrated. He came through a couple of times in the clutch, but I think he's capable, Cam and Stephen A., of leading this team pretty far. Their schedule they won one of the biggest games on their schedule, so I think they're going to be a playoff team. And Carson Beck is tested enough that he can get them somewhere in that playoff as opposed to just showing up.